Hi there, I'm Eli Juicy Jones. The Squonk Genius is here from Cthulhumod. This thing will let you squonk on any mod you want to, but you could cause a disaster. Come right back. We're going to open this thing, box it up. I'm going to show you. It's going to be fun. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hope you're having a great morning. I am Eli Juicy Jones. This is Orbital Vaping Headquarters, Juicy Jones HQ. If you don't follow us here, click on the subscribe button. We're live every Wednesday and every Saturday morning here on YouTube, on Instagram too. So Cthulhumod sent this awesome device today, or this week, called the Squonk Genius. And the thing lets you squonk on any mod you want to. And I did a little unboxing of it on Wednesday's show during the Haster rebuild. But I thought after a few days, I kind of really like this thing, but I want to show you something. There's some ways you can destroy yourself doing this thing. But let's cut down to the desk and let me show you this thing. The Squonk Genius. There that thing is. It comes in this cool little box. We're going to unbox in a second right after we chat with you guys. Hello. Hello, everyone in the audience. Hey, David, Chili Dog, Lake, Dude Mang, Steven. Y'all have a great morning. It's nice to see you. We'll be seeing Michaela here in a few minutes, hopefully, although I forgot to send her the link. Oopsie. And Sammy Joe and everybody else who tunes in. Everybody, Dan, Brady, all of y'all. Love all you guys. Thanks so much. Big Fuchs. Everyone, can't name everybody. You know I can't. So the Squonk Genius is great because I know a lot of y'all are interested in this thing because sometimes you've got like a Squonk RDA, like any one of these, and you want to use them without dripping on your beautiful mech. You know, like here's my .mod 24, and sometimes you don't want to drip. Sometimes you wish you just had a squonker here on your mech or whatever. This is the Ultra Coils 2700 24 karat gold plated mech. And here on the .mod, as you can see, I've got the squonk pin in there. Spin, baby, spin. And the squonk pin up inside there. And so sometimes you just don't want to drip. And it's cool. Because the Squonk Genius lets you do that. Cthulhumod have come up with this little gizmo that is pretty groovy. Let me open it up and show you. And if you're in the audience who wants you to say hi, tell me if you like to squonk. Tell me what's going on with y'all. Everybody, don't forget that we have a Haster giveaway. Watch the video from Wednesday, which is the Haster rebuild. And on that one, there's some instructions in there that will show you how to win your own Haster. It's cool. So the Squonk Genius is pretty cool. This is a little guy. It's got replacements for the rubber tank inside, a new gasket. It comes with clear and this blue one, which we'll put this in. It comes with some replacement O-rings for everything, a registration card, and some instructions. And the instructions don't say too much, unfortunately. In fact, the instructions, I'm pretty sure, don't even... Come on now. Come on, fingers. The instructions don't even show how to disassemble the thing. And so I'm going to show you guys how to avoid a certain disaster. Let me show you all a picture of something that happened to me just the other day. This is pretty good. I need to choose the image. I'm going to call this Squonk Genius Disaster. So I've got this picture for y'all here in my sources for VapeAM. And there's one of them. As you can see, I have opened it up and unscrewed it, and the entire bottom came out of this thing. It is absolutely crazy how much mess that made doing that. I am just schmallied about that, just blown away. So what happened was I went to unscrew my atomizer from my 24 millimeter Ultra Coils mech, and this just completely dumped the entire thing all over my desk. Let me show you the other picture, which is a little bit closer up. That's just an entire 7.1 milliliter bottle that unscrewed right there. So let me show you how to not have that problem here when we do this. And I'll disassemble the entire thing. I'll put the O-rings back in the can. And here is the Squonk Genius. It's cool. It comes with a little cap, which lets you sort of like hold it all together here. Just grab my controls. Come a little bit closer. Oh yeah. So it comes with a little cap, And basically, it's just, now remember, this is wet because I had it in my ultrasonic. Remember, if you ever get anything that's wet from a manufacturer, return it. Return it immediately. But look at that, super cool. It's got a super soft silicone tank inside here that's the width of the entire thing. It's not a tube inside here. It's actually set inside here with these gaskets on top, which I'll show you. And it unscrews here and here. What I want to tell you guys is that when you put this thing on, you simply have to make sure that when you're attaching it to your RDA, that when you unscrew it from the RDA, that you grab it by this thing right here. It's very important. Don't screw this onto your RDA, like I have here, and then tighten it down, and then try to go it up here and unscrew it. Because what can happen quite easily, like that time it separated there, it can easily separate here or here if you don't crank it down real tight. So I'm just warning you, just be aware of that. That's my big tip. It's not a huge deal, but boy, you can dump the entire thing inside here if you're not careful. And it can be hard to get atomizers off the top of this thing that are stuck on with loose O-rings. Okay, so here's the actual device itself. It's pretty simple. It's got a hybrid-friendly 510 down here, and 2 screw-on containers here, and then a silicone barrel with a 510 that extends all the way up. There's a couple of O-rings in the top and big fill ports. And you can fill this a couple of ways. You can either fill it by taking your RDA on and off of the top, which can be a little messy for some RDAs, I warn you guys. But they've included a second thing to do, like I will tighten that down pretty tight. They've included a second way, and that is to unscrew it from just right here. You can also just take this right off. And remember, like I said, this is wet because I had it in my ultrasonic. Or you can just take it right off the top here. And that is the inside. There is the inside right there. There are 2 caps on this thing that hold it shut. And those things physically hold this rubber or silicone tube on the inside in. This is a 1-piece 510. I'm not aware that this comes off of here, but it could. There's a little tiny set screw right there. So there's a chance that an Allen key right in there, turning it, might pull this thing apart, which would be fine. That would let you change this O-ring here, although that may come out anyway. I haven't fully disassembled this thing yet, obviously. I guess I didn't realize till just now that there was a set screw in there. Just saw that. 2 set screws. So there you go. There's the bottom. Here's the top part. It has an O-ring on the inside and the 510 that goes through, and a fairly tall part inside there to fill it inside of. And this is the actual tube part of this, which is really cool, I think. There are just 2 little caps. These little guys pop right out. That comes out. This comes out. You see how nicely this cleans too? Gosh, I put this in the ultrasonic and it cleaned up so nice. That's pretty critical for these things. All you gotta do is pull that out. White silicone out, blue silicone in. Not very tough at all. Just giving it a slight little rotate and pushing it in there. Making sure it doesn't get caught up inside the thumb hole. All you need to make sure you do is get a little bit of silicone on the top and the bottom of this. Sorry, just tap the camera there. I'm just making sure it's all the way through here. You see how the top silicone goes over that little lip? So there you go. That just goes over the lip evenly on both sides. And then you just pop these little caps right back on there. And those give the stainless steel top and bottom some purchase for waterproofness. So, oops. Sorry, I just tapped the camera again. So these things, like I said, you want to screw this in right here pretty tight. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to actually take this off camera for a second and do it with a towel. Or I can sort of do it on camera. I don't want to hit the camera is what's going on. I'm putting my finger on the end here. I'm grabbing it. And I'm turning just to make sure that it's tight, 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 tight on the bottom. Because this coming loose accidentally is what boned me the first time and got e-juice all over my desk. So as long as you get these super tight, you're good. Feels pretty good. It feels to me too like obviously you can put stickers and stuff in here. So let's take a Juicy Jones HQ decal and put it in there. These are courtesy of double D's, M's, Isn't she great? Look at that. So let's do that. Let me unscrew this. Pull the 510 out. Pop the caps out. Push this through. Grab a decal, which happens to be the right size. These are vinyl, so it won't be destructive for me to actually set this inside on the silicone. It will not stick to the silicone, but it'll stick on there well enough for it to be stuck inside here, which, how cool is that? Now, this is a little tricky to keep it from being hurt. So I'm going to fold it on the back side and push it through like this. Yeah. And then we have to go through and straighten out the back. That'll avoid getting my decal all creased. And as you can see in the back here, I've just straightened it out with my finger. There we go. I'm just pulling that through there, just trying to get a little bit of silicone on the top and the bottom, rotating it a little bit just to get the JJHQ slightly more visible. Doesn't want to turn. That is cool. I hope that doesn't move very much inside there. I need to make custom decals for these. Do that quite easily. So I'm just pulling the silicone. Remember that when you put the silicone in here, you just need to make sure that it's pulled up enough so that it goes over the top of that stainless steel lip of the tank. This thing holds 7.1 milliliters. If you have questions in the chat, go ahead and do that. Answer or ask them, and I shall try to answer them. I'm just taking a look at my work, making sure, like I said, I've got that silicone over there. There we go. We're all good. We have a cool JJHQ logo inside there. And now I'm going to crank this thing down inside there. And I'm going to do this off camera, not off camera, but slightly so, just to make sure we get it in there. Totally paranoid about getting that right now. Okay. Make sure those are tight enough. Now I'm going to rotate that back a little bit so that I twisted it just a tiny bit when I filled it up. Or I'm sorry, when I tightened it down. I'm just fixing it up. There we go. Pretty good. My logo's totally off center, but there's nothing I can do about that. I can fix that in a minute. How can I fix that? Let's see. I think in this case, I'm going to actually unscrew it, rotate that further on the other way. I'm just putting my finger through this and turning it. Then I'm going to stick this in here and rotate it. Yeah, now it ought to be more centered. Yeah, okay. Turning. Because you can see the top gets a little bit twisted sometimes. Just gotta make sure that's all set up. I know this seems fussy, but it's not. It's because I want to get it all perfect and I put my logo in there. When you do this normally, it's absolutely no effort at all. There we go. Come on. Okay, the top's in. There's the cap for the top. Putting that in there. And then we put the actual tippy top cap on. I'm going to pull this RDA off of here and we'll put this on our mech. Oh yeah. Pull that little guy off of there. Okay. This is an example of one of the Squonk RDAs that you're not going to want to unscrew the RDA to refill the thing, although you certainly can. Oh. David Harms reminded me that I forgot to put the metal cap on the bottom silicone. Thank you so much. I would have made a terrible seal there. I put it on the top but not the bottom. I remembered one, but not the other. Thank you so much, sir. So we've got all of our silicone seals on. We've got our logo inside there for fun. We've got our metal caps in. I'm screwing it down pretty tight. This top part we're going to take off to refill it later on. But at this very second, I'm just going to make sure it's real tight on the bottom. This is a 24 millimeter top size thing. that sort of contours. And so I'm going to show you guys with the calipers what the size is. Thanks for reminding me. Here we go. We're zeroed. The bottom is, I'm sorry, 25 and a half. 25.3. Well, 25 almost exactly on my measurement. So the bottom is 25, and I'm pretty sure it stays 25 most of the way. It's a little bit larger right here at the bulge, 25.3. And this will fit on a lot of 22s and almost any 24, obviously. It looks fine. This thing is not a lot taller than a TFV 12, believe it or not. When we get this thing out in a second, I'll show you that if you add this and you put a squonker on it, it gets to be pretty much just about the same size-ish. Get this focus down here where we can control it. So, here we are. There is our fill port right there. And what we do is, it's very simple. We just take some, say, what do I have on the desk that's absolutely delicious? Oh, I brought the family that I have apple fritter, which is delicious. Look, apple fritter from the new bakery line of Van Gogh Vapes. Thanks again to Van Gogh Vapes for fueling these reviews. So you can put 7.1 mils in this. It holds an absolutely enormous amount of e-liquid. Of course, I just realized that that Squonk logo on there is going to get thumbed out constantly. But you fill up straight into this thing. Let me open up the top and you can see a little bit better into the top. I'm going to, because it's the dot mod, I'm going to grab this thing, screw it on, and then unscrew the top. And then this will be slightly easier to show you. It's another way to fill it. You can do it either way. I'm going to pull the whole top off of here. And I just dropped it. And there it is filling. It comes with a cap, like I said, so you can always pull your RDA off. There we are, filling it up. 7.1 mils. It holds a lot. That is a lot of e-liquid. Get some of this off of here before I screw it back down. Not completely necessary, but it can't hurt. We just take this and screw it back down on there. Make sure your RDA is down there real tight to do with a piece of cloth. The reason is because this one has really loose O-rings. And so because the dot mod has and the Trinity glass have really loose O-rings, there's not much point. Okay, that's it. That is great. Look at that. Check it out. It's that simple. You press, it squonks. There's like a hair coming out of there. You press, it squonks. And it holds a ton. And so let's put this on here and go vape on it. Come on now. That's fun. We're going back up top. Pretty fun. Not much to it, really. The very top has 2 O-rings on it, so it's fairly tidy. Haven't had too much problem with it getting like outrageously leaky or anything with any of these squonkers. I love pressing the button and seeing the stuff come out of the dot mod. There's my logo there. Hey Tommy, hi. Nice to see you. Hey Dan Lancaster. Yum. Apparently, I haven't measured this directly, but apparently Cthulhu measured the voltage drop on this and it's 0.07. So 0.07 volts drop, which is an acceptable amount of drop, trust me. All of my builds work just about the same. They're fine. And even if it was noticeable, which a couple of times I thought it was noticeable, but I'm really not sure, to be honest. The couple of times that I thought it was noticeable, I attributed that to, I mean, it could have been just the battery getting that much lower. It really didn't have a huge effect on my actual vaping. It adds a little bit of length. It adds a little bit of weight to it. But as you can see, like this dot mod is still shorter than a TFE 12 with a big drip tip on it. And I use big drip tips on TFE12. That's just me. So this thing isn't as big as you think it is, and it holds kind of a lot of e-liquid. So I kind of dig this thing. It's kind of a strange thing. We can put a whole bunch of more of RDAs on here if you guys want. It's a little bit tricky because this one has got stuff in it. There we go. Now I don't want to get any of it outside the thing to leak out, but we ought to be just fine because I didn't fill it completely up. Yeah, there we go. Now look, you can see how much of the liquid came up in there. So as it's squonked, it does get slightly wet inside there because after all, in between that O-ring and that O-ring, it is just open. But if you, like I said, if you unscrew the whole top, which is sort of what I think they recommend, then it doesn't need that. Here is a dead rabbit. Right there. Oops. The dead rabbit has absolutely no well depth, and so it just started to leak. But look, there it is. Works just great. Works fine. No, Brady. Brady, you got the number wrong. 0.07. 0.07. 0.07. All right. So I love this thing. I think it's great. They're cheap. They're $20. Click on the link in the bio. It'll take you to Heaven's Gifts. Don't forget to use the code Juicy Jones. If you use the code Juicy Jones, you save 15%, and this is only $20, so or $21.08 or something like that. They're very inexpensive. So add this to your next order. This is a pretty fun one. You guys in the chat. There's Rob Lee. Nice to see you. Hey Tony. Hey Chili. Hey everybody else. You guys in the chat, start chiming in. Tell me what you think. This is Eli Juicy Jones, Juicy Jones HQ, Orbital Vaping Headquarters. Today we looked at the Squonk Genius from Cthulhumod, which is awesome. And you can always watch the replay. Don't forget to check out the replay of Wednesday's show, which was the Cthulhu Hester, the single coil RTA, which is really cool. And on that one, I'm giving one away. So watch the video, do what I tell you to. Maybe you'll win one. Thanks. Click like and subscribe if you like these videos. We're here twice a week. And from everybody here at Orbital Vaping Headquarters, which is me and my dog and my beautiful girlfriend, I love all you. Thank you. We're going to hang out and chat here with the live audience for another 20 minutes, 10 or 20 minutes. And so if you're watching on the replay, thanks a lot. You don't have to hang out for this. But if you want to, go ahead. Chat just like you're talking to us, and I respond to all these comments. So how are you guys? What do you guys think about the Squonk Genius? I like this thing. I think all squonkers are kind of messy, but I'm just a little bit sold on the idea of this thing. It's like kind of handy. It holds a lot, and I can take my squonks out and, you know, run them in the field, squonk all I want. And all you have to do is watch out for a little bit of mess. It's still not as bad as it's just the same as a regular squonker, to be honest. So if your RDA is already messy, it's going to continue to be so. But if it's not, it shouldn't be any worse. Grabbing a paper towel. Brady's asking how I'm doing. I'm doing much better. Last week I was sick as a dog. This week I'm doing much better. My poor and beautiful girlfriend, Aileen, is doing sicky, and she's feeling better now. But she was also out this week, just honked down to heck, and is glad that she's feeling better. And I'm glad she's feeling better too. So I had to work this week quite a bit, so I haven't been able to do anything. I've just barely got my head back up above water here, just working on this thing just a tiny bit. I think we're gonna just take a tool to that. Maybe just take a little tool to it and clean it up just a tiny bit for my squonking pleasure. Oops. Sorry about that. Looks like I have successfully misplaced one tool. That's fine. Okay, so I don't know if I like that right there. So that's gonna go. Where's the dodo? Dodo is gone. Okay. Got rid of that little hairball. Pretty good. One thing that's great about the dot mod drip is that it comes in over the top. And let me tell you, that's just superior. Drippers that come off the bottom are silly. They should all come out the top. There's no reason for them not to come out the top. They're just not really thinking it through, guys. Okay, there we go. Always clean up your cotton. Always grab a pair of scissors and a tool and just, you know, if you have an RTA, turn it upside down, open it up, tweak it. Tweak them. Tweak those things. You'll be so happy if you do that. Like, poke little holes in it. Stick things in there. Loosen it up. Trim little chunks off that are hairy and don't make sense. They'll last longer. You use them more. You'll be happier. Pretty cool. Did I change RDAs? Yep. Oh, in fact, Brady Vapes asked about the dot mod squonking action, and that is exactly what I was just saying. That's funny. You read my mind, buddy. I feel the same way. Here we are. Let's squonk. Let's squonk. Let me get the focus further up. Coming out the top is the way to go. Now, you see what I've done here? I've actually caused my own problem by putting in a rigid vinyl thing. I've actually made the squonking work a little bit worse, but it's not a huge deal. It's aesthetics, you know. I wanted my logo on there, right? David Harms is asking what coils are in these, and these are some of Dan Spaniel's alienated coils. You can ask him about those. Alienated coils by Dan Lancaster, who's right there in the audience at this moment. I think my battery is dying on this thing. There we go. And Brady is saying the only issue I can see people have with the Tom Squonk is it can't suck the excess juice out when squonking. I'm not sure what that means. Hey, Mike Birdieneck. Great to see you. Love this thing. Love the Squonk Genius. It's so cool. This thing is awesome. I'm going to change this battery out. Yesterday's battery. See what happens with today's battery. Better. Personally, the build that I have in this dot mod is not great for squonking on a single battery mod because it's, I mean, it's good, but the airflow is fixed on the Petri Trinity glass cap. This is really fixed airflow. So if I were doing a single battery, normally I would turn the air down on this, but you can't do that with this exact build. But it's only an example. What I was trying to do is find the coolest looking dripper I have that's a squonker, so you guys can get all excited about it. What I'll do now is I'll try to find one of the other ones. Go. Like, for example, here it is again. Here is the Mad Dog RDA, which is not nearly as good an RDA as the Dot Mod 24, of course, but it's just, and it squonks. Even though I don't actually like the Mad Dog very much. Oops, and I just dropped it on the floor over there. Here is the Pyramid RDA, which you guys have seen this thing a couple of times on the channel. It's got this wacky pyramid deck, and I just put some of Dan's coils on there. Here comes some squonking. Oh, it squonked too much. So this thing has a lot of action on the squonking. You do not have to press it very hard to get the stuff out of there, especially when it's full. So just remember, you don't have to like smash this thing. Sometimes on your regular squonkers, you got to really smash them. Let's see. I'm still Yeah, I'm still not sure exactly what the difference between a taller Squonk pin and a shorter one is, except that there's just more liquid in the pin. There's always the exact same problem there with that. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's a Squonk thing. So I'm going to take out my logo here because it's turning out lame. Yeah, so lame. It did not work. But let me show you guys the bottle here. That's it. We're seeing it. Let's put some more e-liquid in there, shall we? I'll unscrew this whole thing here. Grab this. Start squeezing. If you fill in the top, you can put in quite a bit more e-liquid if you're brave. We're getting full in there. That's a lot of e-liquid in that tank. It's more than it's probably twice as much as on most of the tanks I use with their little 3 mil fills. So it works well. Love it. And for $20, I'm glad I have this kit. That's the thing. That's what I kept on thinking this week, is I thought it was going to be kind of a throwaway device, but the truth is, with a mech, it's really handy and it's not that big. So I gotta love it. All right, it's 8:40. I love y'all. Y'all are the greatest. I gotta go. We're gonna have a big Saturday. I hope all of y'all have a great Saturday too. Don't forget to click on the links for juicyjoneshq.com. You can find here on YouTube. You can find old articles, 7 things you forgot about the Aspire Speeder Kit. I also am gonna start posting pictures of this. Look, my white kit came in, which is really cool. My Skystar. And click like and subscribe. We're here Wednesdays and Saturdays, every day on Instagram. I love all you guys. Let's vape out. I'm going to vape out here with my cool mech, and we'll chat for just a second until Google turns it off. Thank you.